Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Tiki 500. Today I am with Tashdacat. Did I say that right?
Good. No American gets it correctly. It's Tash. It's due
Tashdacat?
to the way Australians and English pronounce A's. It's weird.
Okay, gotcha. Cool, cool. Today we're just gonna get to know you a little bit. So first, I want to get to know you as a person. Very basically, what's your name, if you're willing to say that? Your age, like maybe like what country you live in, just that sort of stuff.
Tash is the name I go by online, and it is safe to say that if you've met a Tash the cat within the last 10 years, you've probably come across me at some point. 24, and I live in Australia, up in the mountains, which you'd think would be cold this time of year, but no, it's like 30-something degrees outside. It's insane.
Wow, that is insane.
Yeah. All month it's just been freezing cold and raining, and all of a sudden it's beautiful. The sun's out. People are singing in the streets.
What time is it there? Because for me, I'm in Oregon and it's 11:23 at night. So,
It's 17:23, so 5:23 p.m.
oh, nice. Okay, so do you watch much YouTube by chance?
How do you say addiction in 9 languages? Yes, I watch entirely too much YouTube, whether actual YouTubers or just postings of, let's be blunt here, British panel shows.
Uh,
I love these British panel shows.
so who do you watch? Just out of curiosity.
The top three people I watch are probably the Straw Hat No, which is this really, I don't want to say really small outlook because I'm far smaller than they are, but I've been watching them for years. I mostly just go and rewatch a lot of their older stuff whenever I need something to watch. They're a lot of fun. They're just this group of guys who just hang out and piss take over things. Their Sleeping Dog series is probably the best in my opinion.
What do you like
I don't
about
know.
them?
I'm blanking right now. That's probably not a good thing.
No worries. What do you like about them versus
I
other
just like
channels?
I just like their takes on things. One of them will be the one playing the game, and they've already edited it all together, and they just post commentate a lot of the time. So that's always a lot of fun because post commentary, you don't get the reactions you do out of live commentary, but what you do get out of it is, hey, you can explain more about certain points or go off in tangents. There's an entire section in one of their Zelda Let's Plays, I think it was the Arbiter's Grounds from Twilight Princess, where they're just discussing bits and pieces about philosophy for a while there.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool, actually.
It's light and it only lasts a couple of minutes, but I'm just like, okay, that's interesting.
Very nice. So, are you in school or do you have a job or anything, or is it
Uh,
just YouTube?
out of school, didn't really go to college or university, so I did a lot of TAFE, so trade schools for
Oh,
me.
cool.
I've got, uh, I nearly said degrees. No, you idiot, they're not degrees. I've got certifications for management and business, so I just work in retail. Casual position right now, but hey,
That's
it's fun.
I mean, that sounds awesome to me. I hear there's a lot of jobs for trades, at least here in the U.S.
Oh yeah. If you want to always have a job, just learn a trade like plumbing or carpentry, and congratulations, you now have a job for life,
Yeah,
as long as you live in the correct areas.
and it seems to usually be a livable wage, which can be
Oh
rare.
yeah. I had a buddy of mine in high school whose father was a plumber. He was making 6 figures a year easily,
Wow,
and he didn't work that hard.
that's really nice.
Then
So,
again, 4 teenagers do drain that heavily.
no kidding. So what are some of your interests? Let's just start with like media, I guess. So like music,
Oh,
anything.
music, I'm all over the shop. I'm the most eclectic musical taste thing you will ever meet. Like on my phone right now, I have like outright classical stuff, weird game soundtracks that are just techno and EDM, and then what I can only describe as rock country.
Oh, that's
They're just they're all over the shop.
what kind of like what bands are rock country?
I don't really follow any particular bands. A lot of my friends just send me in like a music thing on YouTube saying, "Hey, look at this," and I'll go look at it. Right now, my favorite thing is probably the Rebel Galaxy soundtrack, which is a game I utterly love purely for the soundtrack because you can be running from 5 people with your tail between your legs, and the soundtrack's making you sound like a badass.
I love
It's
that.
all blues and country stuff, and I'm just like, yes.
What
Tracking
about
it down is hell though, because you have to buy each individual song because they're all licensed. So
oh,
yeah,
that's too bad, man.
yeah.
What about
I tracked down the ones I loved and bought them though. So hey,
nice. What about like TV and like movies and stuff?
I'm actually a really strange one because I don't actually own a TV that is connected. And I haven't done for a very long time. Growing up, I never had a TV that was connected to aerial or cable TV or whatever you want to call it. So I've never been a massive TV person. But I keep hearing about like certain series and so forth. Like I'm a massive CSI nutcase, have been for ages. I haven't gotten into a lot of the recent stuff because I keep forgetting to buy them when I'm in town. Like up until about a month ago, I was binge watching all of Criminal Minds, for instance. So I hear about these shows, buy the first season of it, and watch it and go, all right, this is good or this is bad. And if it's
What about like Netflix? Do you have Netflix?
oh, I have Netflix and I love Netflix. I was watching Netflix when you contacted me
Oh,
actually. I was watching Layer Cake, which is one of my favorite movies. I'm just glad that the Netflix one didn't have the same issues as I think it was a DVD that I got of it a while back, where just suddenly randomly in the middle of everything, all the dialogue is very quiet, and then there's just one action scene in the middle of the movie that I think they just boosted the volume up 2,000% or something because it's just completely out of whack.
yeah. It's like you'd think they could get their balancing right, but I guess
Yes.
not. All right, so let's just talk about your channel a little bit. Why don't you just give me like a super basic rundown of like what your channel's like, if you can?
My channel is very. I kind of describe myself as the most generic Let's Player you will ever meet, because my bread and butter is Let's Playing, and it always has been.
Hmm.
I started my channel with a Let's Play of XCOM Enemy Within with the Enemy Unknown stuff, and I had a lot of fun with that, and then decided, you know what, I'm actually going to make this structured. So from then on, I had two Let's Plays going on opposite days. I have multiplayer stuff, I've got roguelike stuff, and I do Fun Torture Adequate, which is just this me going, this is a game I've never played before. Let us play it for an hour and give our thoughts.
That's pretty cool.
Which I found some of the games that I've utterly loved doing that game, and even games that I've outright done a whole Let's Play on, like stacking.
Dude, XCOM is so good. I want to get XCOM 2, but it's still 60 freaking dollars.
Oh god, yeah. Here's the thing. At the end of XCOM Enemy Unknown, keep in mind I started my channel I think 7 days before XCOM 2 came out, and I didn't know it was going to come out in 7 days when I started it. So I'm like, all right then, this is good. And at the end of it, I promised I'd do an XCOM 2 Let's Play, and I still haven't done actually. I've been doing this it's been over a year since I finished that, and I still haven't done it, and I've been meaning to. It's on the list.
So previously, you were talking about one of the channels you watch. They do post commentary. Do you also do post commentary, or is it?
No, I do live commentary, partly because, one, that is more of what I like. The post commentary channel, Straw Hat Know, that I watched a lot of, is actually an outlier. I almost always watch live commentary, and because of that, I started doing live commentary because I found it easier. And honestly, I enjoy it more being able to react to things as they happen, because you do get that more visceral reaction of if something jumps out at you. Like in my Mass Effect series, husks freak me the hell out. And I will likely be accused at some point in the future of playing up how scared I am of those things. No, that's actually just me.
Which one are husks?
Do you know one of the first enemies you face in the original Mass Effect, how they're just effectively zombies, tech zombies who run at you?
Yeah, yeah.
Those things, especially in a couple of those areas where it's just tight corridors, you're like hellishly trying to see around corners. Yeah, those things, they freak me out. They utterly freak me out because they just come out of nowhere screaming at you.
They are freaky. I will give you that.
Curiously enough, in Mass Effect 3, there were husks all over the place, and I wasn't as scared of them then. I don't know why.
So what about like how often do you upload?
Every day.
Nice.
I upload at least once every day. On some things, I'll do two. Like, let's say if I have a shorter episode for Mass Effect and then a conversation episode, which is all purely uncommentated and just the conversations in between for the crewmates, I'll upload both of those at once. But apart from that, I usually upload once a day because Australian internet is horrible. And if I tried to upload any more, I wouldn't be able to get things done.
Very cool. Is your commentary, is it like just strictly you reacting to the game, or do you like talk about yourself, or what?
I have a strong tendency not to talk about myself. If you want actual stories from my life, I do a Stardew Valley series with my friend Kintail Fox. And we've started getting not exactly bored with the game, but there are tasks that we're doing that is just repetitive. So we started telling stories, and that's always a lot of fun. But I personally have a strong tendency to keep my commentary on my own channel to the game.
Mm-hmm.
I react. Also, if something comes up and there's a break, I'll be able to talk about it. For example, during one of the DLCs for Mass Effect 1, Batarians were brought up, and they previously hadn't been in that whole game. So I explained Batarians, why we're fighting them, why they hate humans, that kind of stuff, while going through it all and reacting.
Gotcha.
The only downside of doing that particular style is something will happen during the middle of my explanation. I'll react to that thing, finish that thing, and then completely forget what I was talking about. And that's always irritating to me, watching it back going, crap, I forgot to talk about that part.
I've definitely been there, I'll tell you that much. So which of your videos or video series would you say best represents your channel?
Oh, that one's a difficult one, because to best represents my channel, I'd probably have to say any one of the Let's Plays that I've done. Probably something along the lines of stacking, because that was a game that when I find a game I like, I play it to death. And that whole series of, I think it was about 12 episodes, was done in one afternoon.
Wow.
3 days after I did the Fun Torture Adequate of it, stopped recording for the rest of that day, played the whole thing through 100%ing it, taking about 7 hours to do so, loved it so much that on the next Tuesday, I just recorded the whole Let's Play of it, and I think about 5 hours, and then edited it all together, and then just like, there we go, now I've got another Let's Play, and I don't have to worry about doing anything for 6 weeks.
Do you do a lot of editing?
I don't do a lot of it. It really depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing a review, if I'm doing one of the conversation stuff for Mass Effect, it will be more heavily edited, because for the review, I need to edit footage so that it actually looks like I know what the hell I'm doing with in regards to the commentary. But with the conversation stuff, all I got to do is cut out the wandering around in between. Most often, all I do is I sync up the audio tracks, cut off both ends before I say mark and after I finish, and then watch through to make sure it stays synced, only really adjusting where I need to. All of my stuff is very minimally edited. And while it's useful for me, I will admit I get slightly bored of that particular style, even though it works, which is one of the reasons I actually started doing reviews.
Very cool. Which one of your videos is your favorite?
Oh God, there are so many of them that I've kind of just, it's like, there are so many of them purely that I love because either I've screwed up or a friend of mine has screwed up and we've had fun doing it. Out of all of them, there's honestly a three-way tie. The first one is Duskers, which is an FTA I did a while back of this game called Duskers, because I completely forgot to commentate for a good portion and was just purely reacting because I loved the game so much and was so focused on the game, I forgot I was recording and didn't get snapped out of it until my alarm went off and told me, hey, your hour's up. And I'm like, wait, what? Oh yeah, I'm recording. I completely screwed up in that. The second one was probably the final episode of my Portal Colors collaboration with my best friend Mel. Partly, I won't spoil it, because the ending, like maybe 3 minutes of just us shooting the shit afterwards, just makes me laugh every time. And that whole series is just incredible because the mod itself is very, very well made. And Mel's he's a one-man, like, one-liner. The guy is incredible.
That's always good to have with you, isn't it?
Hell yeah. And pretty much anything we do together, like I will outright, when I'm uploading and I can't use the net, I will outright just put stuff I've done with Mel on and just listen to it because I'm enjoying his commentary, not mine. And the final one that's tie is Hitman, which is a review I did a while back of the the Hitman game that came out last year.
The
I'd only just picked it up and it just played it that week like mad.
the newest one, the one that's like
Yeah,
it's like episodic.
the episodic one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
I honestly didn't know it was episodic when I started playing it because I just bought the full first season and I didn't realize that meant, oh, hey, these are all episodes until later on. But I did a review of that, and that was the first proper, full-blown sit-down script and do a review of this that I'd ever done. And it took me ages to script it and get the footage I needed for it and stuff like that. And that whole process made me extremely proud of the end result. And it's honestly one of my favorites. But you can't pass up the sheer humor value of the other two.
For sure. Do you have plans for any future series or videos that you're excited about?
Well, the plan that a series that I do have is is finishing the Mass Effect. I'm doing the Mass Effect series in order. If I'm going to be perfectly blunt here, I was playing them as an excuse to play through the games before Andromeda. And then I found out, I thought Andromeda was going to be releasing this week, not last week. So I found out on Monday, I think it was what was the date specifically? Monday the 20th, that Andromeda was releasing in a couple of days, and I'm like, actually, sorry, the Sunday before that, and I'm like, all right then, I need to record the rest of Mass Effect 3, and so everything from episode 11 onwards, which totals about 30 hours of recording, was done in 4 days.
Wow. You just mainlined it.
Hell yeah. And keep in mind, I still 100% of the game.
Oh my. How do you even 100% that game? That game is so dense.
Because I know where everything is. To be fair, I 90% of the game. Because the last 10% is flying around the place, scanning every planet you come across, and if I can be blunt, I could not be asked.
Yeah, no kidding.
No. So I did all the stuff associated with quests and so forth. I got a list of quests and just marked them off to be able to make sure I did everything. And I probably missed one or two, but the end of that game was hysterical to me, and I love the whole thing of just me at the end giddy going, I've recorded all this in 4 days.
So where can people find you on the internet? Like Twitter, your YouTube channel?
Twitter, I have a strong tendency not to be that active on Twitter because I had a mild Hitman addiction, then a mild Wildlands addiction, then now I have an Andromeda addiction. So I've kind of just not posted a ton for the last few weeks, but I do try and be active on there, especially during the evenings. I tend to be a lot more casual on Twitter. If you look at my Tumblr, I'm a lot more political in what I post, even though you can find heavy political posts alongside stupid memes and me talking to friends.
What's your Tumblr? What's like
everything is Tashdacat. As I said, if you've met a Tashdacat online at some point in time, you will have met me. I do not change my name that often.
Gotcha. That makes it super easy for me to put links in the description.
Yeah, I also link both my Tumblr and my Twitter from my channel itself, so that'll make it easy to find it all.
Oh, very nice, very nice. And I'm guessing your YouTube is just
Tashdacat.
Tashdacat. Okay, cool.
I do know that you can get a custom URL at 100 subscribers. I'm not there yet, but they accidentally gave me the custom URL for my Gmail account as Tashdacat, so I'm wondering if I'm capable of changing that and giving it to the main one.
I wouldn't be surprised if you could, because the same thing happened to me. Because I wasn't at 100, but they still let me do it because my account was so old. So I don't know.
Even if they don't, I'll just put it like Tashdacat game.
Cool.
And then if I ever do anything else, like if I ever do lore videos for the book series I want to write, or political crap, I can just put Tashdacat game, Tashdacat book, Tashdacat politics, and make it just very organized.
There you go, man. All right, well, thanks for answering a few questions for me.
Thanks for having me. Sorry, I ramble a lot.
No, that's great, and I bet a lot of people do who do Let's Plays. I think that's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, to be fair, honestly, all of us, our skill at rambling is probably what makes us Let's Players.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, I talk when I play games anyway, might as well film it.
Exactly. So yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to support your small YouTube channel, and I will see you guys later.